Hey folks, alright, so hope you got my message from earlier today, and as promised, we're going to talk about when to go native with your app development project. Now, if you've been following this channel or you followed Buccaneer.io, which you should, there's tips, there's free stuff, it's a great place. You know, I love hybrid development. Love Ionic, love Xamarin, even React Native isn't terrible. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta go native. And we're gonna talk right now about 3 reasons why you would go native over hybrid. So here we go. Number 1, super obvious. You're only gonna care about one platform, and you only ever are gonna care about that platform. Let's give you a real world enterprise example here that we actually had a couple months ago for a customer. You bought 500 LG Android tablets, right? That's gonna be your fleet. You're deploying it, that's it. Everybody gets an LG tablet, everybody's running Android, it's all standardized. You're using a mobile device management system. So you don't need to go hybrid because you don't need to be on iOS because you're only doing Android. Great. Awesome choice. Great way to go. Again, if you are going to manage the devices, if you are not doing BYOD, right, meaning if you are issuing devices to your employees and you're only issuing devices of one platform, that is an awesome and fine choice. Second reason, this is not going to be for most of you because most of you are in their enterprise, but you're developing some kind of game or perhaps some kind of CAD application. Now this can get a little tricky because with Xamarin you can do a lot of fairly graphically intense stuff, but to get really down to the hardware, you're going to have to go native in some cases. See, there's a line here because Xamarin can do quite a lot of that stuff. Next area, and a good way to evaluate that is to say, well, are my competitors or are similar apps, to my knowledge, hybrid? And the answer is probably going to be something like yes, but with these restrictions. If you want totally unrestricted, deep graphics access and high performance, you may have to go native in some cases. And the other one, now this is going to be a little controversial, but I think if you're consumer facing in the way where your app is your actual product rather than a view into a service that you offer or into a customer management experience that your company offers, you might consider going hybrid, and let me tell you why. Users of iOS and Android are very deeply influenced by App Store rankings and when Apple and Google feature apps. And the platform vendors, tend to feature apps that adopt their new APIs quickly. Let me give you a great example. Every year in June, right, Apple does their developer conference called WWDC. And they release, 5 or 6 new APIs. Well, they always have, right after the conference and right after the APIs come out, it's usually sometime in the fall, a specific section on the front page of the App Store featuring apps that specifically take advantage of those new APIs. Now, again, it's a bit tricky because most of the time the hybrid frameworks can actually catch up in time. But if you really are doing something deep with the new API and you need to start development with them right from, early beta, right from the day they're announced at the conference, well, you're going to get that day one access from Apple or Google, obviously, if you're on the Android side. And that will help you get featured, which is, there's a whole number of studies out there saying that, your App Store ranking, platform vendor featured are actually, for consumer-facing apps, the number one way to boost your downloads. Which obviously, if your app is your product, more users is good. I mean, in general, more users is good. But if your app is actually the product itself, you do want to do everything you can to optimize for getting featured. And again, just a side note, we do offer App Store optimization. So that is something, if you need help with that, we can totally help you with it, Buccaneer. Now, having said all of this, these are pretty few and far between cases for enterprise customers and businesses. You probably aren't using your app, right, your mobile app, as your product. It's probably far more likely that your app is, a glorified document access for your customers, a customer service portal. Maybe you're a large hardware manufacturer and you just, need a way for your customers to troubleshoot their devices. So I would caution you before going native but do keep in mind that there are cases where you should. And we actually have an offering to help you. It is a free hybrid evaluation. We talked about it on some of the other videos. It's still good. There's the link to the offer in the show notes here, so just go on right down there and click it and fill out the form. What that's going to get you is a totally free 100% evaluation of your app concept, of any user stories you may already have, any wireframes, documentation, things like that, and evaluate, can that app be done in a hybrid platform? If so, which one or ones? If not, well, why not? And is there a way to change the scope so it could be done hybrid, or would it be better just to go native? All right. Thank you for listening, and please follow @Buccaneer Tech on Twitter and go to buccaneer.io. Thank you very much. Have a great night now.